People told me I dreamt too big. They said I was too ambitious, too bold, too loud. And you know what I said? Thank you. Because being smart isn't about fitting into someone else's idea of success, it's about breaking the mold entirely. In a world that constantly bombards us with opinions, expectations, and noise, there's one voice that often gets drowned out, the voice within. Smart women know the true power of tuning into their inner compass. It's not about being rebellious or ignoring guidance from others. It's about recognizing that no one knows your story, your dreams, or your truth better than you do. From a young age, women are often conditioned to seek approval, whether it's from family, society, or peers. But those who rise, who break barriers and create impact, are the ones who begin to rely less on external validation and more on internal conviction. They develop the courage to say yes when everyone else says no, and the strength to say no, even when the world expects a yes. That inner voice isn't always loud. In fact, it's often subtle. A gut feeling, a quiet whisper, a moment of clarity in chaos. But smart women learn to recognize it, nurture it, and act on it. They trust that intuition is not a weakness, but a sharpened tool honed by experience, awareness, and emotional intelligence. Think about the moments that shape your path. They rarely come with perfect clarity or unanimous support. They come with doubt, risk, and fear. But when a woman dares to trust herself despite all that, she becomes unstoppable. She doesn't just follow a path, she builds one. Listening to your inner voice is an act of self-respect. It's choosing to honor your instincts, your boundaries, and your vision. And when a woman does that consistently, she not only changes her own life, she inspires others to find the courage to do the same. Because smart women don't just hear their inner voice, they follow it fiercely. Success has often been painted in narrow strokes, wealth, titles, fame, but smart women have learned to challenge that picture. They don't simply accept the definitions handed to them by society, tradition, or even family. Instead, they pause, reflect, and decide what success truly means for them, on their own terms. For some, it's building a business from the ground up. For others, it's raising a family with love and intention. It could be writing a book, healing from trauma, pursuing higher education, or even walking away from something that no longer serves them. The point is, success isn't one size fits all. It's deeply personal, and smart women are unafraid to own that. They know that chasing someone else's dream can be the fastest way to lose yourself. So instead, they become intentional. They measure success not just by outcomes, but by alignment. Does this make me feel fulfilled? Does it reflect who I truly am? Am I proud of the life I'm building? This mindset shift is powerful. It liberates women from the pressure to compete in arenas they never wanted to enter in the first place. It also allows them to celebrate each other more genuinely, because they're no longer in comparison mode. They're in alignment with their unique purpose. In doing so, these women set new standards. They show others that success can be joyful, peaceful, and rooted in authenticity. They break the mold and redefine ambition, not as ruthless striving, but as intentional living. And the most extraordinary part, when smart women redefine success for themselves, they empower everyone around them to do the same. They lead by example, proving that a fulfilled life doesn't come from following the script. It comes from writing your own. Comfort feels safe. It's predictable, familiar, and easy to stay in. But nothing extraordinary ever happens there. Smart women understand this truth at their core. They know that real growth, real transformation, and real impact lie just beyond the edge of what feels comfortable. So they embrace risk not as something to fear, but as a necessary part of evolution. Taking risks doesn't mean acting recklessly. It means choosing courage over certainty. It's walking into the unknown with faith in your own strength and resourcefulness. Whether it's changing careers, starting a new venture, speaking out in a room full of silence, or leaving behind what no longer serves them, smart women recognize that the biggest leaps often come with the biggest rewards. They understand that failure is not the enemy, stagnation is. They'd rather stumble forward than stand still. Every risk they take teaches them something new about who they are, what they value, and what they're capable of. Even when things don't go according to plan, they never walk away empty-handed. There's always a lesson, a redirection, or a new door waiting to be opened. This mindset separates them. While others hesitate, smart women step forward. They're not reckless, they're resilient. They weigh the cost of staying small against the potential of rising higher, and they almost always choose the latter. Their willingness to take risks becomes a magnet for opportunity. It inspires those around them and paves the way for change. Because when a woman dares to bet on herself, she doesn't just change her own narrative, she shifts the culture around her. Smart women don't chase comfort. They chase purpose, growth, and impact. And if that road demands risk, they welcome it. With open arms and unshakable confidence. Every journey has obstacles. Setbacks are inevitable. Plans fall apart. People disappoint us. Opportunities slip away. But what separates smart women from the rest is how they respond. They don't see setbacks as the end of the road. They see them as redirection, information, and ultimately, strategy. Instead of letting failure define them, they analyze it. They ask better questions, asterisk, what did this teach me? Where did I go wrong? What can I do differently next time? Asterisk, they turn disappointment into data and use it to refine their next move. This mindset transforms failure from something to fear into something to asterisk leverage asterisk. Smart women aren't afraid to fall because they trust in their ability to rise. They understand that resilience is not just about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward, stronger and smarter than before. When doors close, they don't just stand there knocking. They build their own doors, they pivot, they adapt, and they move with intention. What might break someone else becomes fuel for them. A rejection becomes redirection. A delay becomes preparation. A loss becomes a lesson. They don't waste energy on self, pity or blame. Instead, they invest that energy into learning and recalibrating. That's why their growth is so steady, so intentional, and so powerful. Their ability to turn setbacks into strategy also inspires those around them. It proves that struggle is not a weakness, it's part of the process. It's a signal that you're pushing boundaries and aiming higher. Smart women use every stumble as a stepping stone. They rewrite the narrative and use adversity as an advantage, because they know the truth. Strength isn't found in avoiding failure. It's found in mastering the art of rising every single time you fall. There is a quiet power in choosing to uplift others instead of competing with them. Smart women understand that true confidence doesn't need comparison. It stands on its own. They've grown beyond the outdated belief that another woman's success diminishes their own. Instead, they see it as a shared victory, a collective step forward. When you fought hard for your voice to be heard, you learn the value of making space for others. Smart women don't hoard opportunities, they create them. They celebrate the wins of their peers, mentor those coming behind them, and collaborate instead of compete. They understand that progress isn't a race, it's a ripple effect. This mindset shifts everything. In environments where others might compete, smart women connect. They form powerful alliances, support systems, and communities where growth is multiplied, not limited. They understand that lifting someone else up doesn't pull them down, it elevates them both. It takes emotional maturity to respond to someone else's shine with applause instead of insecurity, and smart women have cultivated that. They know that no one can replicate their journey, their voice, or their vision. That's why they're not threatened by others, they're inspired. They also know that women supporting women isn't just a nice idea. It's a radical world-changing one. Because when women stop seeing each other as competition and start seeing each other as allies, entire systems begin to shift. Walls come down, glass ceilings crack, a new narrative is written, one of unity, not scarcity. Smart women don't waste energy tearing others down. They use it to lift others higher, knowing there's room for everyone at the top. They're not just building personal success, they're building a legacy that empowers everyone around them to rise together. There's something magnetic about a woman who owns exactly who she is, flaws, fire, and all. Smart women don't dilute themselves to make others comfortable. They've spent too long trying to fit into boxes that were never meant for them, and they've learned that the most powerful thing they can be is unapologetically themselves. This doesn't mean they're arrogant or dismissive. It means they've made peace with their truth. They've stopped apologizing for speaking up, for dreaming big, for taking up space, for being ambitious, loud, emotional, assertive, or complex. They've realized that shrinking themselves to please others only leads to resentment and regret. Owning who you are is a radical act. especially in a world that constantly tries to edit you. But smart women don't let the world write their script. They write their own, knowing that authenticity is their greatest asset. It's what makes them memorable. It's what makes them magnetic. And most importantly, it's what makes them *free*. When they walk into a room, they bring all of themselves, not a filtered, polished version. They don't dress, speak, or dream to fit someone else's expectations. They've stopped chasing permission. Instead, they give themselves the validation they once waited for. This kind of confidence is contagious. It gives other women the courage to do the same, to stop apologizing for their power, their voice, or their dreams. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more people playing small. It needs more people showing up as their full selves, boldly and unapologetically. Smart women know that being themselves is not a risk, it's a necessity. They've traded approval for authenticity, and in doing so, they've unlocked a life that's not only successful, but deeply real and wildly fulfilling.